Welcome back to the John Mendola Show here at WILK. 10:24 in the morning, continuing the conversation. The Dallas area swim team. We got the ladies and the guys in studio with us, and head coach Romaine Mosier with us. And Romaine, welcome into the studio this morning. And looks like another good year there at Dallas area.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Well, hitting that pool pretty hard, and of course a little dry land training, I'm sure, as well goes into that mix. Let's talk about this year's team over on the girls' side in general, and then over on the guys' side in general. What's going well right now?
Well, we're staying consistent with our racing and our practices, and consistency is very important because it helps me count on each individual.
And Maddie Hurst is with us today. Tell us a little bit about Maddie's talents in the pool.
Maddie's pretty versatile. She can go where I put her or I need her. She's consistent with her times and her racing, so that's also important.
Well, let's welcome in Maddie Hurst here on the John Mendola Show. And Maddie, first up, let's talk about some of the events that you're competing in right now.
I usually compete in the 100 backstroke and the 100 butterfly, but I like the 100 backstroke a lot better than I like the 100 butterfly.
And talk about your first involvement with swimming, and then when did you kind of start getting into, okay, these are the events I think I'm going to be good at? How did that develop?
I started swimming when I was 7 years old, and at my first swim meet, I actually swam the backstroke and the butterfly. I really can't swim breaststroke at all, so the backstroke and the butterfly kind of just came naturally to me.
And as far as your teammates, and of course, I'm sure you have some camaraderie with both the girls and the guys. What's it like hanging out with everybody, whether it's at practice or you're heading to a meet, and maybe some of those bus rides?
It's a really unique relationship with everybody, just because we have all grown up together, swimming on an age group team, and then all through high school. It's also really unique just because we're swimming with guys and girls. Usually it's just a girls team or just a guys team, so you form some pretty close friendships over the years.
And as far as the activities for you, other than swimming, you involved in anything else there at Dallas area?
Yes, I am the student council president, and I'm involved with mock trial and National Honor Society.
You sound pretty darn busy. How do you manage your time? Talk about being able to make sure everything kind of lines up for you.
It's very hard to manage my time. It's more just when can I squeeze in these extra few problems for homework. But usually everything runs on a very tight schedule. And
as far as you talk about a tight schedule, talk about that part of kind of trimming down your times and having a plan in place to say, okay, I know I'm here, now I need to get there. What does the coaching staff have you do to kind of make sure that you're reaching some of those goals?
At practice, we time ourselves mostly, but a lot of sets we do with stopwatches, so you can kind of see yourself very accurately from the beginning of the season to the end of the season, dropping times and just slowly trying to get to your best.
All right, Maddie, well, we wish you well. We appreciate you coming in this morning.
Thank you so much.
All right, Maddie Hurst from Dallas area here on the show, and we're going to move on along to another Maddie, but Coach Mosier, tell us a little bit about what Maddie Ross has to offer for you.
Well, Maddie Ross is on our diving team. She was the district champion last year in diving, and also Maddie is very good at swimming events if I need her. So I can throw her in a relay or the 50 free, and she's able to do well there for us.
Well, very unique, that's for sure, to get a diver and a swimmer all in one. And as we welcome in Maddie Ross on the show, and Maddie, talk about being that developing swimmer / diver, able to be flexible as you are.
Yeah, I mean, when I joined the team, I never thought that I would be swimming in any events. But obviously, as a freshman, Coach throws you in wherever she needs you. I actually started out swimming the butterfly in a relay and practically dying every meet. But now it's kind of fun to get in any swim events I can, and it's pretty much just fun. And, diving as well, it kind of gives me, it kind of makes me laid back. So when I'm diving, I feel like nervous, but then I know that I have something fun to do later and swim.
Talk about that nerves. I mean, diving, everybody's watching you. It's quiet. There's a lot to it. So what's it like kind of knowing that everybody's kind of staring at you and you have to kind of really have some self-confidence about you?
Yeah, I know all of my friends that dive with me, we always say it's a mental game. Diving is more a mental game than it is physical. But, we practice the whole season. we work on our, getting to a spot where we feel comfortable with our dives. And once we go over our dives and practice them more and more, you just get comfortable and you get used to doing them so much.
And then as far as the friendships that you develop, and of course you have that uniqueness of hanging with the divers, going with the swimmers, and a lot of times I guess at practice it's kind of like separate groups, but for you, you're probably joining a little bit of both. But talk about some of these new friends that you've developed.
Yeah, the diving team is really close. We're practically all best friends, and it's really great because going to practice every day is not always the most fun, but hanging out with your friends obviously gives you a fun time. But even though it seems like the diving team and swimming team are separate, we actually really come together, and we're all friends no matter what. And even though we're never separate, we're always together, and we always stand on the pool deck together, and we're pretty close, so it's really fun.
And for you, we talked a little bit about what Maddie Hurst is doing. She's very active. How about Maddie Ross? Talk about some activities that you're involved with other than swimming.
I'm involved with peer helpers and student council, but I also do other sports at Dallas. I did tennis, soccer, and lacrosse.
Well, that's a little extra busy, that's for sure. We'll get some sleep when you can, okay, Maddie?
Thank you.
Boy, oh boy, Maddie Ross really working hard there as well at Dallas area. It's 10:31 here on the John Mendola Show. And, Coach, we have one more person to talk to in this segment. And Mikhail Krachta, tell us a little about Mikhail.
Well, Mikhail is one of those kind of go-to guys that I use when I have a meet. I can pretty much go to him and put him in whatever event I need to have him excel in, and he does.
Well, great to hear, and always having another flexible person. And let's welcome in Mikhail here on the show. And Mikhail, let's talk about some of those events that you really enjoy at Dallas area.
Yeah, well, Coach likes to put me in pretty much anything she needs, but my main events, and I guess you could say my favorite events, are the 200 IM and the 100 backstroke. That's like, those are what I do the best in.
Well, take us through an IM and the different legs that you do and how it kind of lines up to the average person that may not know everything.
Well, I love to swim the IM, but at the same time, it is my least favorite event, because it is just, in my opinion, it's the hardest event, or one of them. And so there's the 50 butterfly, which that's pretty much all just adrenaline kicking in, so you don't even feel anything then. And then it's the backstroke, and there you're trying to not kill yourself because you still have 100 left to swim. And then there's the breaststroke, which is my worst stroke, and so I'm just kind of struggling through that. And then you have the freestyle at the end, and that's just where you empty the tank, you give it all you have.
How about the camaraderie with you and your teammates as far as getting after it and making sure, have the coaching staff kind of see what you're good at and kind of figure it out? As you say, some events may not be your favorite, but coach is like, listen, I need you to swim in this because we need this amount of points.
Well, we definitely have enough meets throughout the year that we can swim almost every event. She always says we got to fill the boxes. She has a little chart. She tries to make everybody swim every event. So that's definitely a good way that she sees how or what events people are good at. But she also watches us during practice and sees like what we're excelling at in practice.
And not everybody starts out with swimming. Some people get it a little bit later in life. Some people it's a family tradition for you. Tell us a little about how swimming came about.
Well, my sister actually wanted to start when I was in middle school, and she was in like fifth or fourth grade, and I did not want to do it at all. And my parents made me go to one of the tryout weeks, and I tried it out, and I've just been swimming ever since.
All right. Well, it's stuck with you, that's for sure.
Yeah.
How about other activities for you?
I'm in student council and mock trial.
All right, and sounds like everybody's pretty well-rounded with the academics and the athletics there at Dallas area. As far as the next couple of weeks coming up, we'll get ready for districts. What are you looking forward to with that?
Well, I'm looking forward to the IM and the backstroke, and definitely the relays. The relays are the most fun, I think, at districts, just because you're there working with your team, and you could share the glory or the pain of not winning with your team.
Well, all that hard work, I hope you get some medal, okay, in the next few weeks.
Well, thank you.
All right, Mikhail Krachta from the Dallas area swim team here on the John Mendola Show. We're going to continue the conversation. Still got a few more swimmers to get to. Also going to talk Northwest area girls basketball. We're going to head out first. Let's head out now to our local State Farm insurance agent, Frank Sorokach. Break like a good neighbor. Frank Sorokach is here. We'll be back here in WILK. Welcome back to the John Mendola Show here on WILK. 10:37 in the morning. Well, each and every Saturday we do it between 10 and 11 o'clock. We talk local sports, student athletes, and coaches, and we're fortunate enough to have the Dallas area swim team live in studio with us today, and Coach Romaine Mosier. And Coach, we're going to move along to the next segment here. We have Abby Zollner who's going to talk with us. Tell us about what Abby could do in the pool.
Well, Abby is my go-to person on the girls' side and the girls' team. She's another one of those people that I can count on and put her in just about any event where I need to score those points.
Well, it's nice to hear that you have that go-to, and of course we'll welcome in Abby right now here on the show. Abby, welcome in, and how much fun are you having out there?
Oh, so much fun.
And it's your junior year, so things get a little bit more heated up, and you get a little closer to college or whatever you decide to do after. Talk about your swimming career and how it's developed over the years.
Yeah, they say junior year is your most important year. Over the years, I've continually been getting better and practicing harder and harder for this year specifically.
Now, let's talk about your favorite event.
My favorite event is probably the 100 butterfly, but I also like any of the relays, and I also swim 500 free and the 200 IM.
And talk about your best relay this year for Dallas area over on the ladies' side.
Probably either our medley relay or our 400 free relay. We finally have gotten all 4 strokes down, and we have 4 people to fill up those spots, and we've been getting really good times in that event.
And talk about, are there any injuries or things in swimming that people maybe don't bring up? Is there some things that sometimes you have to kind of tough out a little bit as a swimmer?
I mean, if you hit your hand on a lane line, it will hurt for a long time. Or if you're swimming and you hit someone else's hand, but it's not really that much of a bad thing. But you also have to push through whenever you're swimming a hard event, or just at the end of your race, you definitely have to push.
Pushing through in those last few minutes. How about some of the training you do outside of the pool there at Dallas area? Are there some things that you do that, usually when you talk to swimmers, like, well, we really don't like the dry land stuff. Do you do much of that?
Every once in a while we do. Every Saturday it's usually dry land first, and then we get in the pool and we'll do abs or something before we start swimming.
All right. Well, those are important, of course, for a swimmer and for athletes in general. Abby, how about for you, other activities at Dallas area other than swimming?
I'm in yearbook club and peer helpers club, and in the off season I do track and field and cross country.
All right, so quite a busy young lady and staying in shape all year long, that's for sure. How about some fun things you look forward to in the summer when you're kind of away from it all? What do you look forward to doing?
I mean, I like traveling and going to the beach and everything, but I also swim during the summer to keep up my shape.
All right, well, lady after my own heart there with the beach. So we wish you well, Abby. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring in Coach Romaine Mosier. And Coach Tony Caravaggio is a junior on this year's team, and he's been at it for a little bit. What's Tony doing right now?
Well, Tony is mostly my distance person, swimming the 2 and the 500. But this year we were able to get him into a new event, the 200 IM, which he's really started to do very well at.
All right, let's welcome in Tony Caravaggio here on the John Mendola Show. And Tony, let's talk about swimming. Is it a passion of yours, something you really enjoy?
Oh, I love it so much. It might be the favorite thing that I do all the time.
And hitting that pool is something that you do often. So talk about some of the practices. How many hours you spending in that pool?
Practices are usually 3 hours a day, and I mostly do distance in those practices.
And what's it like? What do you think about when you're doing distance in the pool? Because it's kind of I'm sure at times it gets a little monotonous, but maybe there's something inside you saying, "Hey, I'm going to be getting better at this. I want to try to maybe get a medal at districts."
Yeah, I'm always thinking about getting better. That's always the goal when I'm swimming.
And as far as the camaraderie with your teammates, talk about some of these relationships that you have and what it's like to kind of grind it out with your teammates.
We're a family, I think so. I love all my team members. I always like cheering them on when we practice and practices.
And as far as the favorite event for you, Coach mentioned you're doing pretty well in that 200 IM. For you, is that where it's at right now?
Yeah, I mostly swim at every meet, but my favorite event of all time is the 500 free.
500 free, those 20 laps, huh?
Yeah.
Lucky you, that's for sure.
I love it.
Well, Tony, how about for you? Anything else you're involved with at school?
Besides swimming, I do cross country and track and field.
All right, so another another three-sport athlete there at Dallas area. Will continued success, and we wish you well, all right?
Thank you.
All right, Tony Caravaggio for Dallas area here on the show, and we have one more senior we're going to get to before we talk to the assistant coach, Grant Luxick. He'll be coming up shortly, but Troy Reinhardt is up next. Coach Mosier, tell us a little bit about Troy.
Well, Troy is a very hard worker in practice, and he's involved in a lot of other things outside of school and in school. And his main event is the 100 fly, and he will do that all practice long if I would let him.
Oh, nice to hear that that somebody's got a favorite and, of course, wants to grind it out a little bit as we welcome in Troy Reinhardt here on the John Mendola Show. And, Troy, talk about what you like about that event.
I don't know, really. I guess I'm kind of insane. So you take someone to be a little kooky to do the fly. It hurts a lot, but you're like numb after a couple laps. But it's like a total mental game. You just keep trying to go faster and faster and faster, and that is the part that's enjoyable.
Some people like pain. Troy, you're a guy who seems like you do. How
not
about
distance pain though?
Yeah, not like Tony doing the
yeah.
500, loving the 500. I don't know if I could do one lap, let alone 20. You talk about getting after it. Talk about the dedication you have as swimmers there at Dallas area, because there's been a lot of success over the years.
I mean, it's 18 hours a week swimming, which is a huge commitment, and if you can do, like, we're a huge family, and we all push each other to go very fast and very hard in every practice. And I think that really shows how hard we work. We really push off of each other and compete in these practices, and that is what makes us as good as we are.
And usually it seems to go hand in hand is pretty good academic students and pretty good swimmers. And it seems like that's been a pretty good mix there at Dallas area as well. Talk about being able to manage your time and handle everything and do a good job in the classroom.
It's really hard to do. A lot of sleepless nights. And you really just have to, after practice, you're completely wiped out, and you just have to get through it. You have to just say, I need to finish what I need to finish, and you just have to do. You can't really, it's hard for me to like plan, but I know that after practice I'm exhausted, and you have to do all of your work, and you have to study hard.
Talk about trying to replenish your body and making sure that you're doing all the right things there to health-wise, what you're putting in your body, what you're eating and drinking.
Yeah, like no fast food during the season is a rule that I have for myself. I also don't like to drink soda during the season either.
Well, you sound like a disciplined kind of guy, and those are usually the people that get results. Let's talk about this senior season for you. You're going to head off and do something next, and do you have a plan yet as to what that's going to be?
Yeah, I'm going to go to art school and become an industrial designer. So
awesome. And do you have a choice yet?
Not yet. My top school is Pratt Institute, but haven't heard back from them yet.
All right. Well, we wish you well in that endeavor. Okay, Troy?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. And let's get Coach Mosier back in here. Coach, let's talk a little bit about your assistant coach before we bring in Grant Luxick. Tell us what it's like to work with Grant.
Well, it's really nice to work with Grant. I met Grant way back when he was in 7th grade, and then I had the opportunity to coach him on the team. He was part of 4 district championship teams for the boys, and so it's kind of nice to have someone that comes back that understands the program and can push the kids the way he was pushed.
All right, let's welcome in Grant Luxick here on the John Mendola Show. And Grant, let's talk about your role as an assistant coach there at Dallas area. You always have to try to compliment the head coach in some manner. So talk about what you try to do to maybe take something off a coach's plate, or maybe add to some spice to some of the workouts that you're doing.
Pretty much, as described, assistant coach is really pretty much her assistant. So whatever she really asks me to do, I always try to give it, 110% of whatever she asks me. Whether it's, making sure the kids are doing the practices, running the time for dryland workouts, helping her set up meet lineups, and trying to get everything organized. And states too. States is really a hard thing to go through. Lots of stuff going on. So trying to get the kids organized, helping the parents get them, moving around from the hotel back and forth. Yeah, pretty much it's just being another coach, but more of like being her support and helping her with everything she does.
How about the maturity? She says, hey, I met this young man in 7th grade. Now here you are these years later as an assistant coach. Can you kind of go back a little bit and say, wow, what I thought about swimming then and what I think about swimming now?
It really is crazy as far as like I'm only I'm going to be 22 in next week, but as when I look at the kids, I really do see myself when I was in high school, just like them. Really wasn't all that mature in high school. Our group of kids, we were wacky, just like they are. So it's really funny to see how they are, and then how I compare myself. It's really the exact same. So, and with that too is I know exactly how they are. I've been there, so a lot of times when you're trying to get off working out and stuff like that, I see it immediately because I came up with a lot of that stuff when I was in swimming. So
a young Grant Luxick telling it the way it is as an assistant coach of all the excuses I think we all have come up with over the years, that's for sure. Well, Grant, we appreciate you coming in, and continued success there as an assistant coach with Dallas area.
Thank you for having us on. Appreciate it.
You got it. And Romaine Mosier, talk about the next few weeks here as districts approach and the tapering and getting ready as it heats up, and you'll look forward to some lot of successes, I'm sure, coming up.
Yeah, getting ready for districts is definitely probably the hardest part of the season because I definitely put them through their paces, and a lot of times they might not want to do some of the things, but they do them anyway because they know that they're going to see the results come district meet.
Well, we appreciate you coming in today, Romaine, and bringing everybody with you. Thank you so much, okay?
You are welcome anytime.
All right. Romaine Mosier, the head coach at Dallas area as the swim team, enjoying more success again this season. Well, 10:49 here at WILK. We will talk Northwest area girls basketball when we return. Let's head out now to our local State Farm insurance agent Daryl Hubbard break. Like a good neighbor, Daryl Hubbard is there. We'll be back on WILK.